Okay, we're going to now start up on page 41, applying an external style sheet. An external style sheet, to apply it, we're going to use the link href, that code. So we're going to go to jprop.htm, and I'm there. And within the head element at the top of the file, so I'm going to go way at the top, here's the head. Within there, we're going to insert the following link element as shown in 130, figure 130. So I'm going to go below the title, right here, hit enter, space over, and link href, and I'm going to type it. Okay, when I'm done typing it, I'm going to double click or double check to make sure I've typed it correctly, because it's difficult to type that. jpsstyles.css, that's the file name of the style sheet. It is a style sheet, and then the type is text/CSS. So I'm going to go ahead and save this, and let's see what happens. Go to your browser, refresh it in your browser. And if you take a look at page 42, that is what it's supposed to look like. The reason why ours didn't work, go to your folder. This is where we have our page. Okay, the style sheet needs to be in the same folder as the web page. So I'm going to double click on demo. And do we see that style sheet? No. Okay, maybe it's in tutorial. Yep, right there it is. So instead of me dragging, we're probably going to use all of this for this site. So what I'm going to do is drag jprop.htm into the tutorial file. Okay, now let's see what happens. I'm going to go back to my browser and refresh. And now it's not saved. It doesn't know where to look. Actually, that's why. So I'm gonna close this. It's still looking in the other location. So I'm gonna go back to my folder again. Double click tutorial, and I'm gonna double click jprop. And it looks just like page 42. And styles for HTML5, it says web page as it appears in Internet Explorer 8. It says here, using the new style, Dave's web page is much more readable. The page is displayed in a 2-column layout with the main content of the section element displayed in the left column. The content of the aside element is shown as a sidebar in the right column with light purple background, rounded corners, and a drop shadow. The content of the footer element is styled with a smaller font, a top border, and a light purple background. Okay, which is at the bottom. This is all in the external style sheet, which you'll learn how to do later. But then it says the sections aside, the section, aside, and footer elements used in the code of the jprop.htm file are new HTML elements that are not part of earlier HTML specifications. For most browsers, this isn't a problem, and the web page should be rendered with a format and layout close to what Dave requested. An important exception, though, is Internet Explorer. Version 8 and earlier versions don't provide this support. So let's take a look at what it looks like in Internet Explorer. I'm going to go back to my folder, and I'm going to right click on my jprop.htm file, open with, let's check out Internet Explorer. Okay, and this must be because it's a newer version, okay? And it is. This is Internet Explorer 11, so that's why that's working. So if you look on page 43, they're telling you Dave needs this problem fixed because he can't assume that users will always be running the latest version of Internet Explorer. Okay, workarounds for this problem involve running an external program known as a script. The most often used program language for the web is JavaScript. Like HTML and CSS files, JavaScript files are text files that require no special software other than a web browser to run. At this point, you don't need to know how to write a JavaScript program to correct Internet Explorer's problem with HTML5 elements. Someone else has already done that. You just need to know how to access and run their program. One of the most useful programs to enable HTML5 support in older browsers is Modernizer. It's a free, open source, MIT licensed JavaScript library of functions that provides support for many HTML elements. Okay, and it's just a script that you put in your code. So let's go ahead and go to page 44, and we're going to add the Modernizer script. So we're going to go back to Notepad. I'm going to scroll to the top of the file and add the following tag pair above the element, link element, as shown. Okay, so right after title, I'm going to hit enter. Oops, wrong place. And again, you don't have to worry about how they develop this. This is very advanced. Right now, we're just going to use their code because it is open source. Okay, we're going to save our changes. And we don't have access to Windows 8, but at the bottom of page 44 is what it would look like. If we do Control S right now and we go back to our browser and refresh, we will see no change. Okay, so, but it is relatively close now to what it should look like in Windows 8 or Internet Explorer 8.